Ways to get around the salary cap using fraud. Yeah, probably something you shouldn't do. And that's really what this is. So this is happening with, apparently, allegedly, this is happening with Kawhi Leonard. And this might be happening with other players as well. So when you sign someone to a massive contract, whether it's football, baseball, or baseball actually doesn't have a salary cap, but whether it's football or it's basketball, when you sign someone to a major contract, that eats at your salary cap, right? Your salary cap goes down drastically because you're paying a lot of money for that said player. Well, what if there was a way we could, fudge some numbers here, and instead of paying you all that money, that crazy money, what if you just, got less money, but somehow, some way, a very shady company endorsed you and gave you extra money. So they're telling the player, hey, listen, we don't want to pay you all this money because salary cap wise is going to kill us. So we'll create a fake shill company that will pay you this money as an endorsement. So you're still going to get the same money. You're just not going to count toward our salary cap because this is going to be separate, right? So this is going to be guaranteed money like a signing bonus, but it's going to be separate to the actual salary cap so we don't lose out on the salary cap. This way you can have, you can have your cake and eat it too. Like the motto, you can have your cake and eat it too. That's exactly what this is. You're, in theory, going to have your cake and eat it too because you're going to be able to, one, be able to get really expensive players. The salary cap is going to work out for you all the time. And as long as no one looks into it and sees that this is fraud, then you're going to be fine and you're going to be able to get away with it. So that's the concept. It's getting rid of pretty much guaranteed money. You can also obviously prorate guaranteed money over 4 years. But again, like I said, that still counts toward the salary cap. We want to get rid of that. Kawhi Leonard signed a $28 million endorsement deal for a no-show job with a fraudulent tree planting company funded by $50 million from the Clippers owner. Allegedly. We have to say allegedly because, again, for legal purposes, nothing is proven until this is taken to court and it goes through due process and everyone is investigated, okay? Just keep that in mind. Whenever you're talking about stuff like this, especially, you want to keep this as, alleged as possible. But yeah, no, again, the concept makes sense. It makes sense concept-wise. It's just when you get found out about this stuff, they don't really take well for people who do fraud like this. Like, this is absolutely fraud. This is literally just would destroy a basketball league or a football league because, again, what you're doing is you're trying to use fraud to get around the salary cap. And that's definitely something that, it's a slippery slope because you might say, well, this is smart, they just outsmarted other teams. Yeah, but then every team's going to do this. And then now you are in a slippery slope of every team doing this and every team frauding out. And now, really, what respect do you have left for your actual league if everyone's just using fraud to get around, spending money? Again, it's stuff that, let's not. It's against the rules. It's against the rules of the NBA. It's against the rules of the NFL. So, but this is, what they're doing. So, I don't think this ever happened in the NFL personally. There is now claims that maybe the Bengals did this for Joe Burrow. I don't think they did. There's claims that they did for Lamar Jackson with the Ravens. I don't think they did. But there's going to be those claims because once this gets brought up, once this gets talked about, and this gets allegedly posted, it's going to start this conversation for everyone. And there is a lot of people around, in football communities that believe the NFL is scripted. The NFL is scripted. The NFL is fake. It's, not real. It's just a whole bunch of hoopla, and it's created and manufactured by Roger Goodell. A lot of people think that. And because you have that opinion, people have that opinion, it's going to start a lot of talk when, people, if they commit fraud, well, they committed fraud because of the NFL, the NBA, because they hide it. It's going to cause this whole bunch of crap. So I'm hoping that this is not true, and I'm hoping that this never happens in football, because this is just going to ruin football altogether. But yeah, I'm just hoping that's not the case. Would it shock me 1,000%? I can't say it would. Because again, like I said, there is some very shady stuff that happens in football, baseball, and a lot of sports leagues. And now, especially with the whole DraftKings shoving it down your throat with gambling. I mean, for peace sake, you think they could ever take a break from, shoving that down your throat? Oh, you should gamble, you should gamble, you should gamble. Bro, just calm down a little bit on this forcing DraftKings down our throats. It's why, again, my personal opinion, I'm not a fan of gambling. So that's kind of how I feel. But anyway, tell me down below your thoughts and opinions, guys. What are you thinking about this? Do you think it's just exclusively basketball, or do you think that this happens in football? And if it does happen in football, let's be honest, it makes sense for the Cleveland Browns now. The Cleveland Browns finally make sense with all the crap they do with contracts, that this is how they're getting around it. Also, Browns ownership, this would be 100% something that they would do. Cleveland, yeah, 100%.